Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and nothing gets me harder than cybersecurity news takedown than Nintendo fans and firing up a brand new Wii U for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are one and the same! And of course, one thing that I want to announce today is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the largest, most evil, reviled cybercriminal organization just got hijacked, taken over. The boys and girls behind it are on the run, and the FBI, the UK police, Canadian police, every police agency in the world is taking turns collectively shitting on them. Now, I have connected to a dark web URL that is obviously mosaicked, I hope to God, just because I'm not here to spread actual links to potential hacking agencies. But of course, you can see that the site LockBit 3.0 has been seized. They got the graphic designers on lock. This site is now under the control of the UK, the US, and the Cronos task force. And of course, they've been publishing leaks, publishing their information. They've been publishing every single thing about these people. Don't believe me? You can look up actual usernames, individuals behind this organization, and day by day, the Federal Bureau has been basically leaking out everything imaginable. LockBit's hackers exposed! A large amount of data has been exfiltrated from LockBit's platform before it was all corrupted. With this data, the NCA and partners will be coordinating further inquiries to identify the hackers who paid to be a LockBit affiliate. Now, if you're somebody that wants to be a little snitchy snitch McGee, and remember, there is no honor amongst thieves, they are paying millions of dollars, I believe up to $10 million just for providing information, actually $15 million, for the arrest of LockBit administrators and their affiliates. And that bounty comes at you from the United States DOJ, the FBI. They do not play around. Actually, no, it's up to $10 million for information, and then additionally you get up to $5 million for the arrest or conviction in any country for any individual conspiring to participate or attempt to participate in LockBit's ransomware activities. Now that's a lot of money that they're offering up, so you might be wondering, whoa, is the damage roughly that, palpable? And what kind of cyber attacks? Ransomware attacks. You know those attacks where you run a file and all of a sudden every single file on your hard drive is basically taken over, encrypted, and you basically get a choice. You pay us millions of dollars or you lose that information for good. Now, depending on how good your backup scheme is, how good things are, maybe this might not affect you, maybe it will. But the point is, historically, companies have lost millions of dollars day by day after a ransomware attack. So obviously there's a whole bunch of people who are willing to pay for it just to get access to their business again. And as much as the law enforcement agencies tell you not to, most people are willing to get their business back up. So literally February 20th, okay, US and UK disrupt LockBit ransomware variant. So the Department of Justice joined the UK and international law enforcement and basically attacked LockBit that targeted 2,000 victims and received more than $120 million in ransomware payments. So to give you an idea, this is a bunch of people sitting behind their keyboards, earning millions of dollars a day, okay, operating a criminal operation over the internet. Now, I'm not saying this to entice people to do something like this. I'm telling you the scale of this kind of operation. It's not, I wouldn't say easy for them to do, but with a whole bunch of targets and a whole bunch of money potentially coming, it's something where they can absolutely earn a pretty serious living on. So LockBit associates have deployed these kind of attacks again and again across the US and around the world. And now the US and UK have basically seized their keys from their infrastructure, right? So they actually got access to their core infrastructure, and using the keys that they got, now they're able to help people around the world who are still actually affected by these fucking scumbags. Now, even in the case of 2023, for instance, when they started attacking big companies like TSMC, they were basically asking them for $70 million in ransom. They even started attacking the port of Nagoya in Japan, which, by the way, all right, once they attacked them, shut down a bunch of their container operations. Ladies and gentlemen, these people were basically going after everyone. They are not an organization that's politically motivated. For them, it's all about the money, and money they absolutely made. So again, looking through things like the actual SDN list, which is the especially designated nationals. So these are people and organizations that are basically under the US's eyes through the OFAC. So if you're interacting with these people or working with, it is actually illegal in the United States. And I would believe most of its partners at this point that working with people on this list is basically tantamount to, working with actual criminals. So the people that they started listing were individuals like Ivan Genadevich, all right, and this guy was also known as Bastard Lord on the internet, some guy that was literally, I believe, 27 years of age. And of course, they actually pinned him out to Russia. And obviously somebody on that side of the Iron Curtain probably isn't going to ever get captured, but they also listed out some of his Bitcoin addresses, okay? So you got a whole bunch of these. And just for brevity's sake, I'm gonna open up one of these to show you just how much money was received and sent around, the volume of money moved through just one account. According to this one, the actual volume was 1.1 million US dollars. So they received 594,000, sent 594,000. It wasn't exactly 1.1 million each. You received, you sent, and obviously this kind of money keeps going from wallet to wallet to wallet to wallet to wallet. It gets mixed, it gets laundered, and that's how the entire situation works, okay? They make a lot of money, they slowly launder it through, and that's how this criminal operation is. Now, what I believe ended up sort of getting this to move into a situation where the US government was more involved than it had to be, one of them was known as the Fulton cyber attack. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, the LockBit actual organization started to threaten the release of personal information from individuals living in Fulton County. Fulton County being obviously in Georgia. Now, in this situation, the cyber attack, which, 3 weeks ago, now obviously as a ransom situation goes, if you didn't pay the ransom, and obviously the county did not because they didn't want to actually give money to a criminal organization like this, it almost seemed like they were tampering in with US federal or US elections in general or the political system. And obviously, if you start attacking private companies, the US government is still going to be pissed. But the moment you start getting into state, federal, local tiers, when you start fucking around with the government, that's when, it's basically a time bomb. You strap the time bomb to your chest. It's basically a matter of it going off at some point. And of course, in the last 2 days, it really did go off because yes, the international police, and we're talking cops from France, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, Australia, Canada, Japan, UK, US, Switzerland, all these organizations got together and hunted these people down as something known as Operation Cronos. And that's how they disrupted the largest cyberware gang in existence. To show you how this kind of ransomware works, for instance, I have the LockBit sample right over here. And again, this is just one sample out of potentially many. And there's multiple different versions of it. So this could be version 1, version 2, version 3. But to give you a quick rough idea of what's going on, obviously it's an exe file. We're just going to launch it and run the LockBit malware. And obviously, as we've ran it, it's launching the malware, and effectively it will actually encrypt everything on the drive. Oh, right there, you see me? I got LockBit file, and obviously everything has been sort of taken over here, and all of my files are now encrypted. So if I look at restore my files, you'll notice right here, your data is stolen and encrypted. The data will be published on Tor website, and they give you the link to everything too. And of course, they also provide you a decryption ID. So companies would get that ID, they would basically go and talk privately with these, criminals, and they would negotiate a fee. They would pay the fee, get access to, all the tools required to decrypt this specific software or this specific hit. Look at that. They even gave me a nice old page. There's one way to get your files back throughout this page, decoding.ad. And again, that domain is taken down. So if you got hit with a malware that was on an older variant for some reason, well, you're just shit out of luck. Now, obviously, with the Federal Bureau, you now have access to get your information back through their tools. Because they happen to raid these guys, they got access to all of their tools, and now they can assist you in getting your information back. So according to some of these indictments, basically it appears that LockBit collaborated not only with other hackers, but also international criminal groups, and started selling their service as a ransomware model. So basically you could go to them, and let's say you wanted to hit a company, but you weren't smart or talented, or you didn't have the infrastructure to do this yourself. You could just go to these guys, they would do it for you, and they would basically skim a little bit of money off of the top. That's how this stuff works, and that's how they made a lot of money. So according to the Europeans, they took down 34 servers across the world and basically got the system under control. Now, according to this, 2 actual people have been arrested in Poland and the Ukraine. And of course, there are 5 indictments that are issued by the French and US legal systems. And you've got 3 international arrest warrants. I've shown you one of the first people on the SDN list and one of their crypto accounts. So these people are on the run. Their money has been frozen. Because of cryptocurrency, one thing you can always say is when an account is identified, money moving in and out is a near impossibility. Because of blockchain technologies, we obviously know when a single penny gets in and out of a wallet. So now these people not only are on the run, but they literally do not have access to a lot of their money anymore. And it is just a matter of time before they run out of people that they can bribe or get protection from, and eventually they will have to suffer some life in the US federal prison system or any federal prison system over in the world. And look, when you piss off Uncle Sam or Uncle whoever, when you're going into the jail, if you don't got those connections, if you don't have that power and clout, it's going to be a very, very fucking sad time for you. And I don't think I'm understating when I say that. Now, these guys have been around since 2020, January 2020, so they've had a good 4 years of operations, and obviously all good things eventually come to an end. Now, if you go to their website, what's really insane about this is that they've been the actual authorities have been having a lot of fun with this. I think they've been waiting for this day to come out. For instance, one of them here is LockBit Sup. So actually, I'm going to open this up here real quick. There's been a lot of lore that's been unleashing in the last few days because of this stuff. So for instance, they've got the 3 strikes, LockBit, and I believe these are one of the administrators. They were exploiting, XSSing, they got banned, and effectively banned from LockBit 3.0, which is again their own thing. So who is LockBit Sup, for instance? Actually, I'm more interested in who is that. I believe they've also started trolling around. I think I saw it on like malware, VX Underground, where they were just like literally talking about how the FBI was apparently trolling them by titling themselves as FBI Sup. And of course, this is going to be even juicier because according to the actual agencies, this is supposed to be coming soon. They are literally about to dox. They are literally about to reveal some actual juicy information. And it's funny that they're doing this piecemeal at a time. It shows that they're having fun with this. And why wouldn't you if you've been spending years to try to take down scumbags like this? And what they're doing more than that is they're actually showcasing you like some of their new technologies. So they're about to like reveal their new technologies that are about to release. They're actually partnering with firms to show you how some of their upcoming shit was going to work before they got taken down. And obviously they were in a matter of days, a matter of a day or two, they're going to start detailing some insight into the financial scope of their operations as well. So again, super interesting shit that they're putting out here. Now, according to the lads over at VX Underground, they even apparently spoke with the actual staff behind LockBit's criminal enterprise, and they said, number 1, they assert the individuals arrested are the wrong people. So apparently there's been some innocent people that have been arrested, and they're still apparently out free. They also assert the FBI, the NCA, the Europol do not know their information. And apparently they're putting a $20 million bounty of their own if you can dox them. So again, if you want to get $20 million, they're willing to double the amount, allegedly. And of course, number 3, they state the FBI are not skilled pen testers, and their success was only due to their administration's laziness. Yeah, you guys weren't good. You only won because we were slow. You can't make it up, dude. You can't make this shit up. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, LockBit was by far the largest and most severely dangerous gang out of all of these organizations. But to show you all the other in effect right now, this is an actual list of sites that are run by other criminal groups. So again, LockBit wasn't the only player in town. There are more players, as you can imagine. So obviously, one thing is to know is committing cybercrimes is obviously very profitable for any organization. And it really seems like with one criminal organization gone, it's just rife for anybody else to step into the ring. But again, the governments of the world don't take this lightly anymore. Committing cyber attacks can land you several years in prison. It can ruin your goddamn life. And anybody that thinks that you're going to get like a Hollywood job out of this or the FBI is just going to recruit you, for instance, none of what these people are doing is necessarily so impressive in a grand majority of cases. Let's say this organization consists of like 100 criminals. There might be one or two that might be worth poaching, but generally the rest of them aren't exactly all that impressive. It's just they make a lot of money doing a pretty shitty thing, ransoming systems. And when the hammer comes down, you best be ready to believe that the hammer is going to be brought down with absolute glory and, of course, with absolute malice from these organizations. The cops do not take any of this lightly, nor should they. Some of these organizations, and I don't want to blame LockBit necessarily for this, but some of these people attack things like hospitals, for instance, too. And when you start fucking around with people's lives, at that moment, I have no real sympathy for you. And I hope to God that you spend a good chunk of your life in a federal prison cell. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, one of the largest criminal gangs just got taken down. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.